guys, welcome back to the Dash of Élan. Got a question for you today. But I got a new set of rules the other day, and a question dawned on me. How do you guys learn a new set of rules or learn a new board game that you might get? Now, a lot of other vloggers and YouTubers have asked this question, and I thought I'd throw it up there as well because it is kind of a fascinating question. Some people that have their own little special ways of going about it, and I have mine. Usually when I first get a game, like I just did, I don't jump right into it. I don't know why that is. It's just when I first get a game, if it's a board game, I'll probably crack it open, look it over, and put the counters in their little baggies and that kind of thing, organize it. But I won't start reading the rules. Maybe there's too much tension there. I don't know. But after a day or two, I'll actually crack open the rule book and start giving it a good read. And I usually do this once. I'll read the rules, basically skipping more advanced sections and optional rules, and just get a gist and a feel for the game and the sequence of play. That's really important. Get a basic idea how it flows. And once I got that, after this initial reading, I'll set up a small little engagement on my table or break out the counters and the map boards and set it up a little bit. Not a real full-fledged game, but more like, okay, let's test out the game mechanics. Like, how do you resolve shooting? How is the shooting done in close combats and retreats and routes? So I understand the basic flow of nature of the game system. And especially the turn sequence and flow of play. That's the most important thing. And as I do this, I'll eventually start adding new troop types. And when I feel comfortable, I'll actually start playing a full game, where the setup rules kick into gear and I'm using more troop types and terrain types in the scenario. That's usually how I go about it. And it's pretty much dependent on the rules itself or the game itself, how difficult it is to learn, how cumbersome the rules are. Once I've done that, I'm pretty much into the game, and I go from there. Outside of that, nothing special. I tend to read at night, before bed, or you're more in tune with your subconscious, kind of like when you go to school, you study at night, which I do. It helps, and it does. You retain that information. But that's nothing unusual. I think a lot of people follow a similar technique to that. Back in the early days when I was just getting into gaming, I think it was in my early 20s or late teens, I found a game called Squad Leader back in the old Avalon Hill days. And it was one of my favorite games ever. And it had a very unique way or approach of teaching the rules. And it was basically play and learn as you go. Like, for instance, you'd learn a little bit of the rules, and it would take you right into the first scenario of the game. And you'd play it, and it would do the same thing with the next scenario. You'd learn a little bit more rules so that the rules were layered on. And this was a basically learn as you play procedure. And that's something that stuck with me even to this day. And I realized that the other day when I was thinking about this question. That was really the first time I encountered a way of learning by playing. I adapted that into my own hobby, and that's the way I approach it. I basically start off small and add more and more rules as I go, and eventually I've learned the whole game, and I'm playing. That's how I go about it. I know some other people have some similar methods of doing it. Some people like to sit at a table in full daylight, have a glass of water or coffee or wine in front of them. I don't know why they do that, but I understand that it actually makes you more attentive, more aware of your surroundings, so you're able to absorb the rules better. I don't know. Just having a cup of water there, so you don't spill it, that kind of thing. And people have their own little techniques. Some people have to read the rules several times over fully before they can jump into the game. Some people do it that way. But I'd like to know what you guys do. That's pretty much how I handle learning a new game, whether it's miniatures rules or a board game. How do you guys go about it? Is there anything unique that you do to help you learn to play? Are you one of those people that needs to be taught a set of rules instead? You get a new game, you look through it a couple times, but you don't really read it, and put it on the shelf and wait for one of your friends to come along and teach you how to play, because maybe he's good at it. Maybe he's experienced at that set of rules or that game. There's a lot of people like that too. So what's your answer to that question? Let me know in the comments, private message me. Just let me know. let me know your techniques of doing this. I'm very curious what you guys do. Okay, folks, that's it for today. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this video, folks. I really appreciate it. And remember, folks, hang in there. It's only going to get better.